Now funding on Kickstarter a brand new set of Halloween mask pins, vintage style pins designed by me, Kneon. Check it out at halloween.ninja. That's halloween.ninja. So Spider-Man Brand New Day's opening beat the entire run of Supergirl. The entire run. We're not talking opening weekend. We're not talking the first week. We're talking the entire run, beaten in one weekend by a pretty amazing opening. Spider-Man Brand New Day actually made more money than Endgame in previews, which is wild. Now you got to realize that was 7 years ago, so inflation, all of that. But I'm going to be honest. I did not expect this one to do that well. I knew it was going to do good, because it's Spider-Man, and even a poor performing Spider-Man movie does pretty good. But I did not expect this thing to break records, especially since the story was a pretty just generic, middle-of-the-road Spider-Man saving the city story. It wasn't anything groundbreaking. It wasn't like, Spider-Man saves the planet. It didn't have, 20 other spider people in it. So it was surprising. Now, what else was surprising was that this movie really went back to basics, and we did a review of it. And we actually weirdly lost some subscribers over that. We did the review and we said the movie was pretty good, and people didn't want to hear it, but the movie was pretty good. And it was, as a longtime Spider-Man reader. Now, I haven't picked up a Spider-Man comic really much in the last 10 years. I don't give a shit about what they're doing ever since Brand New Day. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. I don't need Spider-Man. But as a classic Spider-Man comic book fan, this movie to me felt the most like a Spider-Man, just a Spider-Man comic you pick up on the newsstand. Just any given issue, you're kind of dropped in the middle of it. Spider-Man saving the city. He runs into other Marvel characters. The stakes are stakes, but they're not huge, small potatoes, as Yelena said. So it was good. Now, and also realize that this is more of a Sony thing than a Marvel thing, and Marvel doesn't make that much money. I guess Disney doesn't make that much money off of this. But I'm like, you guys can do this, but then you turn around and you give a shit like Madam Web and Morbius and all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sony, just meat and potatoes Spider-Man, meat and potatoes X-Men, Disney. That's all you got to do to get people back. And I'm hoping Doomsday, I've actually got more hope for Doomsday now since I saw Spider-Man. I'm wondering though if Spider-Man isn't going to wind up beating Doomsday. It depends on how bloated Doomsday is and how much homework people have to do for it. But let's talk about this before we get into it any further. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. If you would like more woohoos, you can go out to the audio version of Clownfish TV. Listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, wherever you listen to podcasts, we are there. Give us a follow, subscribe, do the star thing, the rating, it helps. Thank you very much for that. This is pretty funny. So Gary put this up. He said he's feeling pretty good. Apparently last year, was it last August? Somebody actually predicted that Supergirl was going to perform better than Spider-Man. Now, you can stop giggling. Really, you can stop laughing. Yeah, so Supergirl was going to be the biggest thing. Spider-Man was not going to perform very well. And here we are with Spider-Man beating Supergirl's entire run in a single weekend. And again, this shows that it's not superhero fatigue. It's shitty superhero fatigue. And Supergirl could have done a lot better if they just, stuck with the source material. Because I bought the graphic novel. I bought Woman of Tomorrow, and I read it. And I'm not a Tom King fan, but it was better than the movie. It was a lot better than the movie. But if they had done it like the comic, which had some really beautiful art, by the way, if they had done it like the comic, it would have been a lot more expensive. And we had to James Gunn it up. But it would have actually, I think, been a much better movie that would have performed a lot better. But it is more fantasy, like straight up like D&D, Mobius type fantasy than the Gunniverse. But yeah, I think Paramount's going to pay attention to this, and when they buy, not if, when they buy Warner Brothers, they're going to pay attention. I think they're going to look at James Gunn and be like, hey dude, Spider-Man's making all kinds of bank, and Batman, Superman should be making this kind of money, and they're not. We got a problem here. We got a problem here. And you're the problem. Get the hell out. That's what I think is probably going to happen. We're just not going to renew your contract. We're going to part ways. He's going to go become a consultant, or they'll keep James Gunn on to do occasional movies. And he is good. When he's in his element, he's good. I love the Suicide Squad. I thought he did a fantastic job with that. You keep him in his wheelhouse, that's fine. Keep him away from Superman and Supergirl. And does anybody want like a jokey Batman again? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, do we want James Gunn Batman? I do not want James Gunn Batman. Apparently they're canceling some of his other stuff though, too. They're canceling Booster Gold and some of these other shows. I think all these studios are trying to claw back as much as they can. But yeah, so Supergirl did 121 to 126 million globally against a $170 million production budget. And Spider-Man did that in a weekend, more than that in a weekend. Spider-Man did 168 million in a weekend. Is that domestic? Wow. They said the movie they think is going to reach 325 million by Sunday. This is crazy. Okay, so Spider-Man Brand New Day came out. So in a day, holy shit. Okay, so I misread that. I thought that was the projections for the weekend. That's for a day. Spider-Man beat, holy God. Spider-Man beat all of Supergirl's run in one day. Now, I can tell you the theater we go to, which is like a middle-sized theater, but we said before, that's a good litmus test for how a movie is going to do. We got bumped to another screening because they added like 3 more shows that day. And they actually bumped the Odyssey. I think they bumped the Odyssey down to 1 screen to make room for more Spider-Man. And every screening was full. Like, you cannot get Spider-Man tickets if you did not already. You can't just walk up to the window and get Spider-Man tickets. Okay, that's a fucking event. And I did not expect that from this movie because it is such a kind of street level Spider-Man movie. It wasn't like a massive, universe ending, whatever, but maybe that's all people want now. Maybe they just want low stakes Spider-Man. I don't know. It worked though. Brand New Day grossed an astounding 168 million from over 4,400 North American theaters on Friday alone, securing the biggest opening day ever for a domestic release. The record previously belonged to Avengers Endgame, which earned 157 million on its first day in theaters. And again, adjusted for inflation, I'm sure it probably is a little bit higher than Spider-Man. Sony has the film reaching 325 million by Sunday, but rival estimates have the film climbing as high as 358 million. That figure would give Brand New Day the biggest North American debut of all time. That is crazy. I did not expect that from this movie. I really did not expect that from this movie. Endgame also holds the title of Best Domestic Opening Ever with 357 million. The silver medal belongs to No Way Home, with 260 million. Infinity War had the third best with 257, followed by The Force Awakens with 247. 247, that's more, I think, than Mando and Grogu made in its entire run. In Tom Holland's previous Spider-Man film, No Way Home, Peter Parker had Doctor Strange erase everyone's memory, so he has to start over. We know that. Second place on Friday went to The Odyssey, which made another 14 million. Again, they're bumping The Odyssey in our theaters, but if you're going to go see The Odyssey, and I have zero interest, I'm not going to sit here and like shit on the movie. I don't care one way or the other. The circus around it and the defense that the media is running for it, I think to me is more interesting than the movie itself. But like, go see it in IMAX. Like it was shot in IMAX. Like if you're going to go see it in IMAX. Don't go see it in, the Dollar Theater or whatever. By Sunday, the ancient Greek epic should add 51 million and bring its domestic total to 395 million. But Spider-Man might make that or close to that in like a weekend. That's crazy. Toy Story 5 took third on Friday with 1.8 million domestic. Minions and Monsters and Moana. Moana was a huge dud. I forgot that was even playing. Like it's still around. That's just absolutely insane. It's just insane. What else do we got here? We've got apparently somebody leaked it. Spider-Man Brand New Day leaks online millions watch bootleg before it was taken down. Posted by an account named Frederick Bryan. The leaked video reached 5.9 million accounts and counting, with over 143,000 people liking the post and 10,000 people resharing it before it was taken down. Oh man, you're going to have to pay to go see Spider-Man. Several other X accounts also posted copies, though most didn't last long on the platform. Studios typically send infringement notices, et cetera, et cetera. Of course they bootleg this. It's like the biggest movie ever. This is crazy. I'm more astounded because I did not expect this one to be that big. I knew it was going to be big. I was expecting a little bit better than Superman. I did, again, because it was such a street level. But I mean, it's the first time we've had, Spider-Man versus the Hulk. We got Punisher versus the Hulk for like 30 seconds. But, whatever. They're reintroducing the X-Men. Oh, spoiler. I guess I shouldn't have said that. But it's just like, wow. That's crazy. There it is, guys. So yeah, Supergirl looks super sad now. It's super, super sad that Supergirl didn't do better. And look, we reviewed that one too, and we were very fair. It wasn't a terrible movie. It just wasn't a Supergirl movie. It was a Mad Max movie with a female lead. It was Furiosa in space. It was very mid, and it wasn't something that was going to appeal to a lot of people. It never was. Plus, you got to take your daughter, and somebody wrote an article about that. Like, you're going to go take your daughter to go see a movie about sex trafficking. It's like Supergirl's an icon. She's an alcoholic, who's trying to stop a sex trafficking ring. She's depressed as hell. She's cynical. That's not a movie you want to take your daughter to. Now, there were a lot of women that went to go see Spider-Man. I would say easily half the theater was full of women. And, they love Tom Holland's Spider-Man. They do. So he's going to be playing him until he's 90. Yeah, I guarantee it. But yeah, I mean, look, when Marvel, it's weird. Marvel Studios themselves, Kevin Feige doesn't seem to know what works with Marvel anymore. But Sony and the Fox guys, Ryan Reynolds' crew, they can make it work. So how long is Feige going to be with Marvel? I'm just saying, because they're going to look at this and be like, well, geez, a properly done Spider-Man movie that hits all the check boxes and just gives people what they want. That's all I had to do, is just give people what they wanted. Spider-Man being Spider-Man, action, no politics. It did probably $2 billion. Probably going to do $2 billion. That's crazy. Meanwhile, the Thunderbolts is like puttering around at, a couple $100 million. Captain America, a couple $100 million. Huge flop. So, I don't know. I'm going to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later. Now funding on Kickstarter, a brand new set of Halloween mask pins, vintage style pins designed by me, Kneon. Check it out at halloween.ninja. That's halloween.ninja.